is an issue that comes up a lot. Maybe you'll start a company with one of your buddies, or maybe you just already have a limited liability company, for example, and you want to start hustling clothing through the company, but you want to make sure that you can secure the brand before you actually start selling the clothing. So in this episode, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go through the nuts and bolts from start to finish on how you would take the name that you want to sell clothing under through your business and actually go through the entire application process, at least from filing. So before we get started, though, we need a clothing brand. So let's start off with that. So like everything else, we always start with doing some searching. So as always, you're going to go to this search site. I believe we have it shown here, and you'll see you get to here. And then all you need to do is type in basic word mark search. But let's do a structured search. So we're going to do a structured search. So we're going to look for other clothing brands that might have a similar name like VRez. So in the first box, you're just going to type in leathers. Let's see. So these are going to be class 25. Again, whoops. See, I made a mistake. I made the mistake that I told you guys every single time we've cut tape not to do. You always have to have the and, otherwise you're going to get a lot. You're going to you are going to get every brand that sells clothing under 25, because with the or, it's going to match everything under class 25. Let's try again. Oh, that's really good. So at this stage in the game, Victoria was a client. She told me, came to me with VRez. I would tell her, you got a really high chance. I think you probably, this clothing brand will probably fly through. So, okay, so we have our name. So let's start the application process. No shortcuts. The only shortcut I will take, though, that I will tell you now is I'm already logged into USPTO.gov. However, that process actually also is fairly straightforward, and I'd be more than happy to create content around that if you guys are interested in seeing that. So, okay, once you go to the site here, by the way, you can also get here just by doing a simple Google search. Just say, type apply online, USPTO, and trademark, and this should be an early hit. So click on initial application forms, start your application in TIAS. Now, we're gonna have to make this decision again. You can do the TS Plus, or you can just do the TS Standard. We'll do the TS Plus variation today, and look, I'm going to do this as if it was your own company. So in this case, I have an LLC that I'm just going to use. It's a real LLC, so I'm just going to use my LLC to complete this application. Now, the owner of the mark, okay, so again, companies and entities can own trademarks, okay? So it's really important to understand that the owner of the trademark has to be the entity or person that is responsible for putting the goods, is responsible for the nature and quality of the goods. In other words, remember, trademarks are a protection of the consumer. So they protect the consumer by indicating where the source of the goods where the goods came from. It's a source identifier. That's what the trademark protection is. And so it's important to understand that the owner of the trademark should also be the source of the goods or services. Otherwise, you're going to run into issues, and you're going to jeopardize essentially the strength and validity of your trademark. So this is really important. Basically, what I'm saying is, if you have a company, don't just assign, don't have it just be the owner if you're not actually going to use the company to actually sell the merch. But I just want to make sure that it's understood and clear to everybody. So I am going to put in my LLC name, LLC, and this is a limited liability company, so I'm going to check the box here. Now, real quick, let's say Victoria had her own DBA. She could, if she was doing this application, she could just type her DBA here. So she would put her name in here and then her DBA here. But again, I really caution you against, don't just use a DBA unless you actually have a registered DBA. Make sure it's registered with the county. So here, again, once I select the limited liability company, it's going to prompt me to enter in the citizenship. In other words, or not the citizenship, but where it was actually formed. So in this case, this is a California LLC. So let's be pretty quick. And then I will have to provide the address and the mailing address. I already have it auto-populated here. And so this is the Impact Hub in Oakland. And we need an email address. So for this one, I'm just going to use one of my company emails. Now, one thing I haven't done in the past is I haven't provided a website address, but today I'm going to just why not? Let's just add it. This is optional, not required. I think actually I should probably enter in the HTTP part of this. So let me do that. There we go. Okay, let me continue. Again, it's going to prompt me phone number. It wants my phone number. I'm not going to give it. I really don't like adding my phone number to any database that isn't required for all the same reasons that you guys prefer not to. So we continue now, and once we get here, okay, so this is the part where we actually get to enter in Victoria's clever name, VRes. And again, you can press the preview button right here if you want. It'll pop up an image file that actually just has VRes in it. Because of the way the share screen is, I actually can't. You actually can't see it, but I popped it up. But there'll be another opportunity to see it at the very end, just to make sure you got it right. Now, next week we're going to go through special forms. This is what you know, what you know as basically logos, like designs. But we'll save that for next week. So again, VRes here, select standard characters, and then continue. Now, goods and services. So remember, we're going to be limited now because we are doing a TS plus. So we're saving $50, but we have less latitude on the description. Perfect. How about evening dresses? Bridesmaid dresses? Knit dresses, though. Woven dresses? Jumper skirts and dresses? Okay, beautiful. So all class 25, we're not going to have to pay any other additional fees. Now, one really quick thing. So remember, the TS plus application fee of $225 is on a per class basis. So if my application has 2 classes, in this case, in this present configuration, notice I have class 25 items, but I also have a class 45 item. So I would have to pay for both class 25 and 45. So the fee would be $225 plus $225. So just keep that in mind. So it'd be $450 instead of just $225. So if you're being cost conscious and you want to limit your brand just to certain items initially, then just note that. So again, class 25, and we're going to click here, insert checked entries. Now, once we do this, it's going to automatically populate the goods and services for us. Just as, again, one more side note, I just want to show you guys one quick thing. Anywhere where you see these brackets right here, like indicate type, you're going to see this all around these prompts. If you see them anywhere where it's bold and curly braces, that means that the system is actually going to prompt you to fill in that text. So that's the one area where you have a latitude in the TS Plus application. But I just want you guys to know that if you see brackets, curly braces, bold text, that means that you can actually add the text that goes into those curly braces. So just note that. It's a useful tool, especially if you really want to save the $50, make sure to use that tool. So, okay, now here we're going to select section 1B. Again, next week we're going to run through the same content, but we're going to design some logos also, and we're going to show you guys how you can actually submit these applications with your logos. So right now we're just doing section 1B, and just a quick reminder, section 1A means that, hey, I'm already selling my clothing. It's already on the marketplace. Section 1B is, haven't started selling, but I want to. Section 1B is, I want to secure the name. I want to know that I can get the name registered before I invest in all the branding, web design, graphic design on promoting the brand. Going hard on social, I want to wait. I want to make sure I get the mark first. Once I get it, once I know there won't be a likelihood of confusion, then I'll go for it all the way. Okay, so I'm gonna select section 1B because I'm not yet selling it. Now we're gonna go through again. We'll create more content in the future on how you go about actually doing the 1A applications, as well as the designs for your logo. Okay, so it makes you check the box here. This just means that, hey, I really intend to use this mark in commerce. I'm not just submitting an application. I have a bona fide intention to sell goods or services under this mark. So once you assign the filing basis, you're halfway there. So we check all the boxes. There are section 1B, they have an assigned filing basis. Now all we do is hit continue. Now I gotta input our docket number. This is anything you want. I'm just gonna do STL because We did AVA for me individually. Now this is my initials. This is entirely your preference. It's just, you just need to provide a reference number just so that you can keep track. If, let's say, you have multiple trademark applications, you might have an Excel file. You might want to have some code, some digit code that you use to keep track of everything. And then here, again, like I can put Victoria's email, whatever. You can up to 4. Just, you have to separate them by semicolons. Just note that if you want to add multiple. Then we hit continue. We're almost done. Again, this is 225. Remember, if we had done, it's a fee per class. So if you had kept that other class, that class 45, then this would be 2, and so it'd be 2 times 225. So just be careful. We're going to sign directly, and again, 4 check boxes. First one, just saying, yeah, I'm falling under 1B. I have a bona fide intent to use the mark in commerce. This box here is just saying that I believe I have the right to use the mark in commerce. This is saying there's a factual basis for my statements. And the 4th is just saying that I understand that I'm signing under penalty of perjury. So anything willfully false statements could result in fine or imprisonment. So I'm telling the truth, basically. Here I sign. Now, the one difference here is I have a title. So most LLCs, the default is you're a managing member. Some people like to be called CEO, president, whatever it is. You put your title here, and then here you would put your number. And once I hit validate, I am almost done. Now, this is the review page, okay? This is an opportunity for you to review the application before you submit. So take a look at it, take a look at the mark, take a look at, make sure the company's information is spelled correctly. It's really, really important, guys, that you spell the literal element, that you spell the mark correctly, because you cannot fix that. Very, very, very important. You cannot fix the mark after you file. So make sure that that is the spelling that you want on your application. Otherwise, you have to go through the entire process all over again, and you'll have to repay the 225 or 275 if you did the TS standard. Again, this is our address, zip code, our email. This email is required, by the way. I think I said it before, but just know that you do actually have to provide an email for the entity. And it's a limited liability company in the state of California. Class 25. Again, these are the clothing items that Victoria suggested I start selling through my company. And the only last bit here is just the correspondence. So company name, the docket number, and I signed it. So I'm good to go. Then I hit back, and I can see the mark if I press mark. There's our mark. This is actually an image file. So if you click on it, you can see, you can open the image in a new tab. It's an actual image, so you can download it. Now, once I hit back, yeah, I'm good to go. I can save the form. I told you guys about this last time, but if you save the form, I could save it and then redo the application process tomorrow and actually upload all the information. So it makes it really quick and easy. And again, I think I said this last time, but I want to say it again. I want to say this in every video because I want to make sure everyone clearly understands. You can freely go back into the application. It's really handy. Let's say you realize you made a mistake. Just click go back. You can actually back up and go through every part of the application all the way from the beginning. And it's really nice. Why? Because it actually saves your information. So you don't actually have to re-input anything. I can literally go back through to the very, very beginning. And if you want to go forward, all you do is hit continue, and it's going to auto-populate all the information. So it's actually a session, which is nice because it saves all your information. You don't have to worry about retyping it. You have latitude. You can go back and forth. You can correct any sort of shortcoming that you find later at the right when you're about to file. So nice tool. So again, you can go back and modify. You can save the form, redo it tomorrow, or finish it tomorrow, whatever you want. Anyways, we're done. I checked the box here. This is a notice just saying that you're not going to get a refund. If you misspelled the res, that's it. I can't help you. You got to resubmit and repay the full fee. And once we hit pay and submit, it's going to take us to a payment page. Now, I'm not going to go through the actual payment in this video, but just understand and note that once, so I'm going to hit credit card, but once I fill out my credit card information, the name on the card, the address, and hit submit payment, I'm going to get an automatic email. That's going to have my filing receipt. And this page is actually going to redirect me to another page that has the filing receipt that I can download. The filing receipt has a serial number. The serial number is really important because you can find your case using the serial number. So again, this is how you can file a TS Plus application. That's the reduced fee application for your company's clothing brand.